Welcome back to the Alpha Beta Kappa podcast, episode number 2. My name is Brandon, and I'm the Alpha.
My name is Manny, and I'm the Kappa.
Wow, and I'm Jake, and I'm the Beta.
We put him right where we wanted him. That's an 80-20 working against a 0.
Yeah.
Wait a minute,
20.
I thought I had like 5%.
No 5% here. But guys, it's episode 2. It took us a long time to get this one started, and it caught me off guard by saying it was recording. So now I'm out of content.
Oh my gosh, I don't understand you.
Right. So thanks for coming listen to us on the Alpha Beta Kappa
podcast. Awesome. Guys, we're on Spotify. Officially on Spotify.
Yes.
And you're going to have the link if you follow our Twitter, which is ABKPod, at ABKPod. I
Yes.
hope so.
Yes.
Really hope so, because I just said that. But yeah, so we got approved on Spotify. We are going to be approved soon on, I hope we're going to get approved soon on the podcast app. So, if you want to listen on that, it's going to make it easier because listening on YouTube is not convenient.
Right.
The least convenient thing ever.
It is.
But that's cool. But we did get officially approved on Spotify, which is dope. Jake came running out of, not really running. Jake can't run.
I can run.
No, he's got
I'm a
such a
pretty
large
fast runner.
torso. He'll fall forward if he runs. So
I'm a Tom Cruise runner.
Oh yeah, that is actually really true though. But no, he came waddling out of the house, and he was playing something on his phone. And originally I thought it was a new song that was dropped by Logic and Eminem, but it wasn't. Which I do want to talk to you about too.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was our podcast on Spotify, and I was like, yeah.
So our podcast actually
was like,
sounds
yeah.
like Eminem and Logic.
Yeah, it's actually really crazy. No, but that's cool. The reason I'm saying that is because we talked about it last time. One of the podcasts we really enjoy is Congratulations by Chris D'Elia.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris D'Elia is actually at the end. He does this little bit in one of his podcasts where he raps like Eminem, but he says stupid shit about it.
Mm-hmm.
Jake's good at replicating it.
Hannah began skipping napkins, blapkins, 4 tours of the Porsche.
It's something along those lines, and it's actually it's officially in the song.
Yeah.
And it's at the end of the song, which is it a long song? Because
It's about 4 minutes and 2 seconds.
And at the moment that they're talking about it, it got leaked. It's not out here
yeah, that's true.
from where we're recording this. It could be out by the time we release this, but
It is. It's out. Well, it's out in like I think
tomorrow.
Yeah, New
Tomorrow's
Zealand
Friday.
already
Oh,
has
okay.
it. I know that's where the guy that posted it said he was from. So they already have it on actual like Spotify and Apple Music. But I don't know, cool song. I like it. But the Chris Lee part's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And man, his Eminem impression is off the fucking charts.
Jake,
I
how do
love
you
it.
like it? Because I know you like Eminem.
Yeah.
So, I like it a lot.
Uh-oh.
The Chris, no. The
Cool.
Chris D'Elia part
Um,
really like kind of made me appreciate where Eminem is now. He's a lot more self-aware of what's going on around him, and he's not so closeted by the outside world, and he's willing to allow things like that into his space, even though it's not his song. But I feel like if someone were to ask him to hop on a song like that 5-6 years ago, I don't think he would have said yes. I think he probably would have said no, because he's like, he conducts himself in a very serious manner. When it comes to his music, sometimes the content is not very serious, because the content in that song is very like tongue in cheek, and it's also like I'm the best kind of stuff. Like it's nothing groundbreaking. Logic's part is pretty cool. He just sticks to the same flow for.
But yeah, that literally Logic is the same flow. But you know what? Rightfully so. It's good flow.
Yeah. He sticks to the same flow for about like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. His hook is really cool. The chicka 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 Slim Shady.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's cool.
that's cool.
Yeah.
And then when Eminem comes in, the beat gets darker. There's that those extra like sounds that come in.
Yeah.
And I think he switches up his flow like 3 times throughout the song.
No.
Yep.
No, I mean definitely not.
Pretty biased.
It's like 2 or 3 times. It's not the same consistent like pattern. And it's cool.
How many times does Chris D'Elia switch his flow?
Dude, that guy he's off the charts.
I know.
He's
10
like the flow
times.
god.
Speaking of Chris D'Elia, I know you guys are in love with his podcast, but Brandon actually went to Vegas and saw Chris D'Elia live.
Oh, he's turning this on me because I thought I had topics to talk about, and that's not one of them. No, I did. I saw Chris D'Elia at the Mirage in Las Vegas on April 26th, and it was a fucking hilarious show. And I don't know, actually, I don't know if it's because I was minorly intoxicated, or if it was just a hilarious show. But no, I know it was a hilarious show.
Right. No.
That shit was great. The crowd was amazing, and it was pretty close to a sold out show. It was very close. When I looked behind, just waves of people. I was in the third row from the stage. So I just like tasted his sweat.
Oh, you were close.
Yeah, it was super. Yeah, it was super good. And
The sweat was super good.
oh, dude, everything. I bottled it and I'm selling it actually. So
Nice.
if you want to go to eBay, my username is.
And Chris D'Elia doesn't even drink, and it still tasted like vodka, huh?
Yeah, it was delicious, man. No, but it's cool. And he talks about what he actually talks about this in his podcast as well. But how Boyz II Men came in his dressing room.
Oh,
And
really?
Yeah. Boyz II Men came in his dressing room and they were like, "Hey, we know you've played in Vegas before, and we're big fans." And he was like, "Oh, what of me?" It was like,
Right.
okay. And then he makes jokes about how they're always coming in and they're just singing and shit, even though they're not. But
Yeah.
it's it's just what he does. He's a comedian, so he makes jokes all the time.
Right.
I don't know if you guys
Oh,
know.
he was a comedian?
Yeah. No, I thought he was.
I thought he was an influencer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody is.
Basically, it's
If you're on social media, you're an influencer.
Does that mean we're influencers?
We are actually, guys. We're coming out as influencers.
Yes.
Oh my
We
right
just
now.
came out of the closet. We're influencers.
Oh.
I didn't mean to bring it there.
Okay.
Yeah. No, but that's actually. And I'm glad you brought that up. It was really fun, and then he proceeded to quote tweet me with hearts after I complimented
saw
his.
that.
And he seems to bring it up every day we talk to him.
Well, I mean, if you're best friends with a comedian, you're gonna talk about it.
Best friends?
Yeah, best friends. What
Best
did you not
friends.
get about him quote tweeting? That's pretty
What did he quote tweet?
hearts. Best
Oh.
friends do that all the time.
I don't know.
I mean, I saw you comment on his Instagram, like
I
he would
did.
take
I did.
photographs for you, and
Yeah.
he didn't really comment back.
Yeah, there's just a lot. On Twitter, though, it's different, though, because Twitter is easier to communicate with popular people because the following is always less.
Well, we'll
than
just
it's-
settle this right now. Go ahead and just bring up your phone, and we'll go ahead and
And
just-
FaceTime.
Oh, yeah, no phones during the podcast. That's like, come on, we have
I guess
a
so,
sign
yeah. That's true.
that says no
All right,
phone.
you-
We have a sign that says no phones during the podcast.
You got us there. But since you are great friends with him, you guys, we're gonna have Chris D'Elia on the podcast next week.
well, probably not next week.
Oh, never?
Yeah, probably not next week.
Oh, okay,
Probably
okay.
next year.
Gotcha.
If
Okay.
we're fucking lucky. This podcast will go down in I don't know, 2 months.
I see 2 months too.
I wonder how many people are actually they buy that. They listen to it and they're like, oh, that sucks. We're going to go down in 2 months.
No.
I'm lying. No, we're
Yeah.
writing this out because now it's part of Alienated and so it means something.
And it's
Last
fun.
podcast Jake and I did. But that's how we went into it. We went into it with not open arms. Went into it with closed arms.
Did you guys talk about the BJ experience?
Oh, we didn't.
No, right?
But Jake and I did have a podcast previous.
When did you guys start it? It was like a while ago.
Yeah, we
October, November,
yeah.
somewhere there,
and we would release episodes
monthly,
monthly.
or every other month.
Even though every time at the end of an episode, you son of a bitch, he would say, "See you next week." Why would you do that?
Yeah,
because it was funny.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though, is again, BJ Experience was made to not be made.
Right.
It was made to be made a fool of. That's really and I know that sounds silly, but we didn't want it to ever be serious because that's not what it was about. It was about us being the less, amount of stressed we can be.
Right.
Which now that we're doing this one, I feel like I'm
stressed as fuck.
No, I feel like I am fighting to fit it in. No, it's easier because also we have the technology and it's better technology for it. Also, we have people to do things like our producer, Austin, who I mentioned on last episode, and he sets all the stuff up. It's just easier.
Yeah.
Now, granted, our setup is not the greatest because our
janky.
producer's also not funding this.
We'll post a photo on our Twitter of how we look like right now. We
Yeah.
probably can't see half our faces.
We make it work.
We make it work, but you know
Yeah.
what? It's all about quality. It doesn't need to look good. It needs to sound good,
Right.
which is also something I'm fucking terrible. I'm just trying to get a rise out of Austin, but anyway, but yes, Vegas was fun. Chris D'Elia was fun. This podcast is fun. What did you guys do over your 2 weeks? I feel like it was a vacation.
2 weeks?
I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
bi-weekly.
it's been-
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Oof.
Absolutely
Well,
nothing.
really, nothing really. I mean, I'm still working,
Uh-huh.
still doing the
Working out.
mentorship, working out.
You
yeah.
probably hit like 2 PRs at this point.
I hit APR.
Okay, well, speaking of that, because we at the end of each podcast,
Wait,
we come up with a new goal.
Oh, I thought he said I hit APR, and you were like, speaking of that, I got a lot of interest, and
Speaking
I'm
of
gonna need
APR.
money.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So at the end of every podcast, we come up with a goal, and you had. I guess we can talk about that now.
Yeah.
What was your goal, and did you achieve it?
So, I Kind of.
Oh, dude, please tell me you failed.
So
please tell me you failed.
last podcast, I said that I was gonna do my max lifts in like my overhead press, deadlift, bench, and squat. I PR'd in my overhead press, so I succeeded in that. My old PR was 175 pounds, and now it's 190. And let me tell you, pressing 190 pounds over your head is fucking
pretty easy.
scary. No,
It's scary. It's so scary.
Yeah, I can imagine.
No, dude. I mean, you're lifting me plus 40 pounds about.
and like with no leg drive,
Yeah.
it's nuts. Yesterday I did my deadlift attempt. Keyword attempt.
Probably a lot of weight though. Let's hear it.
So I threw on 475 and I got it to my knees. And as I pulled it up to my knees, I started my lower back to round. And usually that tells me my glutes and my hamstrings are not strong enough to drive up the weight with enough power. So I just dropped it. And so I dialed back and I just pulled 455.
455.
For faster.
That's
pull.
like, yeah, that's
That's me and 40 pounds.
yeah, that's not even close.
And then tomorrow will be my bench and Sunday will be my squat. So,
Okay.
so
So you failed.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, actually, no. But well, you know.
One of the lists so far I succeeded in. I'm hoping the next two I will.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure I will. I
And
got
what
it.
we wanted to do is have like a consequence if we didn't finish it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I actually forgot about that completely.
The consequence?
Yeah. So I don't know what it's gonna be. But you know what? Maybe we could we could take some audience suggestions.
Yeah.
About what the
next
consequence. So we need a consequence for when we fail at what our goal is. So I mean, let us know. You can tweet at us, or if you know us personally, you could just send a message our way any way you can, and let us know what you think is a good one. We don't want to do anything involving alcohol.
Yeah,
and
no.
I know that sound. I mean, sure that'd be fun, but no, no alcohol related things. So anything else, it could be like, I don't know. Jake has to. If any of us fail, Jake still has to pay us.
Right, yeah.
Huh. Yeah.
It owes us 100.
Dude, I'm failing every week.
Yeah, for sure.
Every week I'm failing. No, but let us know. That'd be kind of cool. That maybe somebody comes up with something great, or maybe you guys are all unoriginal.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll soon find out if we want you as pledges.
There it is.
I like that.
Dude, I totally forgot about that. Austin.
Yeah.
Austin came up with a name for our viewers and listeners, and you guys are our pledges. So welcome to your new house, because this is where you are, and you're always in Alpha Beta Kappa now.
Yep.
It's like a marriage, but you can't actually divorce legally.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we
we tie you down. Yeah, we tie we tie you down around here. So you ain't going. We're
you down.
yeah. We're the.
we'll make sure. Yeah, like it's it's sensual. It's nice. It's
It's right next to Crystalia's cabin.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true.
No, it's underground.
You're honestly, you're in like a dungeon and it's Bondageville down there.
Yeah.
You're not fucking getting out. So sorry. Hey, what's up? Anyway, Manny, your goal.
Okay, so
He's like, oh, I want to try bondage, and I did.
yeah, I wanted to try bondage and I failed because I could rip out of the handcuffs. No, so
God,
my
that's so hard.
so my goal was to meditate. I
Mhm.
think it was I don't know if it was every night or at least 5 times. So I did fail.
So yeah, you failed to remember what you said.
Yeah, I forgot which one it was, but because I only did it 3 times, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't that.
So am I the only one that's gonna get paid by Jake?
Yeah. So
I thought you said you were gonna try to meditate 2 to 3 times a week.
Oh, I hope so.
I think that's what
That's
you
what
said.
you did.
Okay. If it was that, then yeah, because I did it. I did it.
Oh,
3
so you're a
times.
fucking liar. I'm just kidding.
Dude, this all is pissing me off now.
So I meditated 3 times, and it was at nighttime, so it can help me fall asleep. I meditated, but it didn't help me fall asleep.
Mm.
I don't know if I'm doing it wrong
No,
or
fail. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a fail.
because I'm doing it while I'm running, so I don't know if that makes sense.
You're Manny's listening to Headspace while he's running a mile, and he's like, "Oh, it's just not working."
Yeah, I'm using the app Headspace. There's a couple other apps that you can use to meditate, but
That's not a sponsorship. We're gonna bleep that out. We don't give out free promotion, even though everybody knows Headspace.
yeah.
So
But I did it 3 times. I want to do it more, and I'm getting in the groove of doing it because I did it once when we recorded the podcast, and then twice throughout the week.
Mm.
But yeah, I want to get into it more because it is calming, and I really like how I feel after it.
you half-ass promoted another app. Can't bleep.
What was it?
No, you just said calming, but I don't know if anybody knows what that is.
What about you, Brandon?
I didn't do anything.
Yours was to deadlift 475.
Yeah, mine was to actually
475.
deadlift 500 because 475 was my PR last fucking
Year?
week. Last year, dude. No, my goal was to motivate somebody to do something they maybe aren't like so familiar with or weren't actively pursuing. And I did. And the way it came about was actually kind of cool. And it also shows the power of social media. There was a girl. I'm not gonna say any names because I don't know how comfortable.
I think I know who you're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Ooms.
Oh, let me just say her name really quick. No. There was this girl that was, when somebody likes a tweet, it'll show up on your timeline. Sometimes I don't know. It kind of depends. I don't know how that formula works, but she was posting pictures and she said, "This is the first time I've actually sat down and edited pictures." And they were pretty good. Like I felt like there was potential. So
her.
Okay,
Okay.
Poppies?
yes.
Oh, okay,
There you
okay.
And so I messaged underneath it and I just told her to kind of keep at it and to do that. So a couple days goes by and then I actually, well, the light bulb rang and I was like, oh dude, I got to complete this. Otherwise Jake has to pay me money next podcast. And I really would hate that. So I DM'd her and I told her I actually wanted to kind of challenge her to do something. And I wanted to challenge her within the week to go out, get some new photos, edit them, and then send them to me. And if she didn't mind, I'd like to give her opinions on it and, maybe try to help out. She did. She completed it in the week. She sent them and I gave her my opinions on them. And she said she's going to continually send me photos as she takes them. So, yeah. So, I mean, I guess that's a completion. But it was really right time, right place, right time kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I also don't really go out of my way to do that stuff. And I want to do that more. When I see things, I just want to kind of, reach out. It's not always going to be reach out for guidance, but I want to, comment on other people's things and start,
Right.
complimenting them and maybe giving them ideas, whatever it is. So
And I
cough up the money, baby.
I feel like I am kind of missing out on that now because
Twitters.
I recently deactivated my Twitter. And there's a bunch of reasons why. And it may sound like kind of I guess sad in a way or like defeated because Twitter can be a very negative space. And over the past month, 2 months, I've been doing my best. I wasn't trying, I was doing my best to be as positive as possible. And I always caught myself. If I ever tweeted something negative, I deleted it right away. And then my following tweet would be about the negative tweet and how I reworked it mentally and to refocus. And some people would be like, well, that's kind of counterintuitive because you're bringing it back. And I'd be like, well, no, because I'm shedding.
That was Nick?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm shedding light on it.
You goddamn name dropper.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was Wick?
And I'm like, it sheds light on what goes
Mm-hmm.
in the mind of somebody who is still working on themselves.
Mhm.
Now, granted, I deleted the account about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And I think I deleted it because I was tired of seeing other people be negative to other people. And now you could say, well, Jake, why don't you, step in and be that light for somebody? And granted, I could. Unfortunately, you can't be there for everybody. And I want to be there for everybody. And that's the problem is I have such a great desire to help as many people as possible, not only with their, physical health, but with their mental health. It's so important to me. But when there's other negative forces battling against that, it seems so hopeless in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I still need to reflect more on myself before I come back to it, because I'm eventually going to come back, and I'll come back with a different mindset and a different approach. And hopefully I can make a better and bigger difference than what it was before. And also, I'm not going to play saint. I never was. and I still work on it today, but I feel like my account and who I presented myself back in the day, and back then, and even so recent, like as a couple months, 6 months ago,
Has defined you.
has defined
Yeah.
me as a person, and I don't think people can take me seriously,
Mhm.
like via that account,
Yeah.
or via like this. Oh, this person running this account and page seems rather, like negative.
Mhm.
Like he was negative and now he wants to be positive. I
Yeah.
feel like people don't understand that people can change in
Mhm.
such a short amount of time, because you never were the same person you were like 2 weeks ago or
Yeah.
a week ago or
Mhm.
whatever.
Mhm.
Everyone's changing. So I feel like if I give myself some time and, obviously other people some time like away from me is will be beneficial. And then when I come back, hopefully it'll I'll be able to paint a better picture.
Mm.
So that's the reason why. I don't think I ever told you guys the reason why I did it.
No, you kind of just like paraphrased and
Yeah.
whatnot, but it also was because you got locked out and you were like, well, this is it then. I can't
Yeah.
get back in. But I actually have a question
Mhm.
because I've done this, so I feel like I'm living proof, and I can kind of validate this way of approaching the Twitter realm.
Right.
Is they released a feature a long time ago, and it's the ability to mute people.
Mhm.
And also, I mean, you can unfollow them, but I think the reason they did that is because it seems so rather asshole-ish to unfollow somebody, and then that becomes a whole ordeal. But muting them, they're never notified about it, and you never see their stuff. You could also mute keywords.
Mhm.
I've done that. I've been doing it for, I mean, well over 6 months now, and it has proven to be very, very effective because my timeline now is only photos, only videos, and only people I like hearing,
Mhm.
and people that aren't negative. So I just kind of wonder that, did you ever think about that approach, or did you think it wasn't going to be effective? Because again, I'm living proof, and I feel like that was the best thing I did, because now Twitter for me
Right.
is funny memes. It's my close friends. It's the positive friends, and it's a bunch of photos and videos that I
Mhm.
enjoy from creators I enjoy.
So that comes from like me as a person and always wanting to help others. And I feel like if I ever muted words or muted a person, then I won't, like, it would prevent me from seeing something that someone else was experiencing. So like say person A was in this Twitter thread about, how they're being treated and how they look or whatever, right? And if I muted all those words, I wouldn't be able to see that. That would never come up. And I don't think I would be able to contact that person and be like, look, you are who you are, and don't let anyone else make you think that you're not important, and just don't let anyone define you by your current state of being.
But again, don't you think like you said, the way your persona was already on Twitter, and how you said you still needed some, self-refining and whatnot, that maybe even then you really couldn't help anyway, or you weren't the best person to do so. So maybe even removing yourself from that, having that ability may actually help you. Because again, you got to put yourself first, because you ain't going to be able to help anybody unless you're in the right
Right.
state of mind. So do you think that plays a factor at all?
I think it does, but like towards the back end, like right when I got close
Mhm.
to delete, like, deactivating Twitter. And also, and let me, I also want to like expand people's knowledge base and not be so naive.
Mhm.
Naive is such a kind of a negative word to use, I guess, or ignorant. Ignorance not a negative word. I feel like if you're ignorant in something, you have the ability to learn.
Mhm.
So I'll use this as an example, and this was kind of like the defining moment of, okay, I need a break, because one, what I'm saying is not getting across correctly.
Mhm.
And also there are people that are so in tune with their niche as people,
Mhm.
they're not willing to expand their mind. So
Yeah.
this is what happened. There was this girl who tweeted something, I lost 5 pounds or whatever from removing meat from my diet. And then another person who I'm, social media friends with,
Mhm.
replied to it like, she asked her, do I have to replace something else with, if I remove meat from my diet, do I have to replace something else?
Mm.
And will I still lose weight?
Mm.
Now,
So
I
Jake rolled
replied-
up and said, "Y'all fucking stupid."
I replied saying, just because you can remove a certain,
Mhm.
food from your diet that if you consistently eat
Mhm.
throughout your day, yes, you will lose weight. But that is not the cause of losing weight.
Right.
Being in a deficit, a caloric deficit is the purpose. Now, because you removed it, that's less calories you're consuming,
Mhm.
and then thus you're in a caloric deficit. So yes, you will lose weight. And I was painting the picture that just because you remove animal products from your diet, that is not the reason why you're losing weight.
Oh, was this like a vegan push? Is that what she was kind of implying?
Kind of. I don't think it was that deep, and I didn't want to get there.
Yeah.
I wanted to be as neutral ground as possible
Yeah, of
about
course,
it
of
because I know people have such strong
Yeah.
emotional connections to their lifestyles.
Mhm.
So then another person chimed in,
Mhm.
and he was like, "Oh, but you just said if you remove this from your diet, that's not the reason why, but you're still losing weight because of it." And I was reiterating. I said,
Mhm.
and then I dumbed it down even further, and I was still being respectful.
Mhm.
I was like, again, just because you are removing a specific item from your diet, that is not the cause. Removing that item is not the cause of weight loss. Because I still eat meat and I still eat bread
Mhm.
and I still eat a lot of things.
It's just intake and
it's just how
versus
much am I
something.
intaking, and so that's the cause of weight loss is being in a caloric deficit, and that's the picture that I was trying to paint. You can be a vegan, that's completely fine, and I made that disclaimer. I said, hey, you can not eat meat, that's totally fine. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you can't, like you should eat meat. People have their own
Yeah.
virtues and lifestyles. Good, all power to them. I just wanted to give knowledge and like a base of understanding of
Mhm.
these are the reasons why certain things happen. And then the conversation stopped, but the other person who was trying to contort my initial reply, everyone was liking it. And then the other person replied to it saying, like, I got schooled, like pwned. I was like, what?
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm giving you.
Are we
I'm-
8?
like,
Are we 8 years old?
Yeah, like I'm giving you like a knowledge base. So in the future, if you do end up deciding to cut, meat from your diet, and you lose like 10 pounds, and you're like, oh, I didn't want to lose that much.
Yeah.
And then you put meat back in, you have a mental thought of meat is the only reason why I'm
Mhm.
losing this weight.
Yeah.
So I was trying to prevent that from happening. But then I'm getting pushed to seem like I'm the dummy and I'm kind of like this elitist, which was not what I was doing at all.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah.
And so it was at that moment I'm like, okay, I'm gonna breathe, and I'm just gonna remove myself from
Fine.
the social
Which
platform.
smart. And I know you, and I've known you for a long time on social media, but you never did that before.
No.
It was always no. I'm pushing for it. And because I was like that too at one point.
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, I guess sometimes I still am, but it depends on what the subject is. But no, I see what you're saying. I
Yeah.
get it. I think it is a good step for you to take, and I think it's a good step for a lot of people to take. I did quit using social media for 4 or 5 months in high school, which is like the pinnacle of, hey, Shitsville on social media. Like, I mean, I know people that had social media in high school and they loved it. And my girlfriend, for example, she said, I had no problems. It was fine. And I get it. So people you follow, but unfortunately I followed not happy people at all. Therefore, It reflected how I was feeling most days, and it wasn't good. But this is a great segue because I wanted to talk about something that is happening in the social media game right now.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if you're familiar with it. And I did just mention it to Manny earlier, and this is very interesting to me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, this is from, I'm going to source it because don't attack me if I say things that are incorrect, because the Washington Post posted this.
Mm-hmm.
But Instagram is test hiding the number of likes and views that photos and videos will receive. So a central aspect of its platform to rein in competitive tendencies and make the experience a little less pressurized. They are now taking out the amount of likes.
Right.
So I am curious now how you guys feel about it.
I have a whole umbrelling thought about it, and it could take a little bit of time to talk about. And I just did a lot of talking, so Manny, you can go first if you want.
Man, he's like, nah, dude, I fucking need those.
He's like,
dude, my life depends on these likes. No, so I didn't know about this until Brandon brought it up earlier. And he didn't tell me much about it. He was just telling me that they were gonna remove the likes and stuff like that. I'm super curious on what it's gonna do with everyone, because a lot of the social media like influencers and people like that, that's how they make their money, and like they base their photos on like, okay, if this doesn't get like 1,000 likes within the 5 minutes, then I'm just gonna take it off and put it later.
right.
So if you can't see your likes and you can't see how well your photo is doing, I wonder how they're gonna react. And even myself, when I post a photo, I'm just like, I'm not dependent on the likes I get. I post what I like.
Right.
But I'm curious on like how I'm gonna feel if I post a photo and I don't see any likes. Am I gonna worry about it? Like, does anyone like this?
Mm-hmm.
Even though I don't care about it, it's just gonna be it's so weird to me.
Right.
Because usually I'm used to when I post a photo, my photo, I just lock my phone and then like likes will start popping up. What if my phone's just silent right after I post a photo? It's gonna be so weird. And Brandon, you were saying it was gonna take effect this or next week.
It's currently, I think, happening in Canada. They rolled it out, and I think they're going to roll it out. Maybe in the U.S. next week. I think.
Okay, so that's when
I'm trying to look.
When this podcast is posted, maybe this will be taken into effect.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm so curious on how everyone's gonna be, because this is how most people make their money too, and that's how they base on how much money they're gonna make and stuff like that.
Right.
It's crazy to me, and I'm surprised they're even gonna push that, because how big
Like
social
Instagram?
media, yeah, because social media is big. Like I said, that's how most people make their money.
Right.
I'm surprised they're even taking that jump. Like, we're just gonna remove likes from Instagram for a little bit.
Yeah. I'm glad you hit on the topic of, the monetary aspect of it. And that I can see is probably the only like immediate negative response like from something like that, because then sponsors will be like, well, we don't know how it's going now, and there's no way for us to monitor it unless they find some other workaround, like they can like contact someone and they can send them the views or the whatever. I don't know.
Right.
But in my opinion, I think it's a potential good. Because, and I have to be very careful on how I word this, because ever since Instagram and Facebook, social media in general has become a thing, people have worried about validation. People worry about what other people think about them. And I used to have that problem myself. I would not understand why no one's liking my photo, and like, do people not like me? And you know what? That probably was the case, because I was not a very likable person, and sometimes I can still not be, right now. And that would play a lot of negative emotions in my mind, like, why do people not like my photo or my video? And back then, I was not posting, any worthwhile content, and so now if I were to take that into account now, where I do try to post like something of use of like, some knowledge base, and it still doesn't get a lot of likes, and then I'm like, well, do people not care? Like, because I see other people that are, less competent than I am getting thousands of likes, and people are reacting like, wow, good job, like, and they're real people, and I'm reading their comments and seeing these likes and things like that. I'm like, it's so baffling to me, like, and then it plagues your mind. and it made me think, am I not good enough? Am I not worthy of even friends to like my stuff or comment my stuff and be like, wow, that's super awesome. I learned so much from it. Or granted, I got the one or two every now and then, which was, uplifting. So if you'd remove the system, which I think they should for a little while, like just see how everyone feels, because I'm no longer in that space anymore where I don't care what anybody thinks about like the stuff that I put out or the likes that I get. I just want to put it out. I put it out there for me. This I use the platform for me, and anybody who sees it and says, wow, I learned a lot from that. If it's one person, awesome. Fantastic. If I'm changing one person's perspective of a workout or a mindset, then cool. But then there's people who have Instagram for no purpose other than just for them. Like, it's just pictures of themselves.
Yeah.
And they get thousands and thousands and sometimes millions of likes. But why? Right? Because it's this validation. They have strived so hard to be validated by a group of people, or like, people in general. And if you remove that from them, that'll be probably very damaging to them. But it's like, but there was already damage there to begin with, to want to be validated by strangers.
It's almost like finding the lesser evils.
Right.
But what I think the only thing it's really going to affect is the top of the ladder social media gurus and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because they rely on that stuff. And now, I mean, essentially what it's doing is it's equaling everybody on the platform. No, now you're not better than anybody.
Yeah.
Everybody is the same.
Which I think is cool. I think it's awesome.
Because my thing is now, how would you tell me that you can bring more value? Show me your numbers now, because they're not there. Yeah. You're the same as me.
Right.
Now we are valued the same because numbers don't lie. Yeah, and so if there's no numbers, you can't lie.
Now it's not numbers. It's like your talent,
it's the content.
Whatever content.
Exactly.
Yeah, the content you're putting out.
I love it. But I do know the top social media dogs are going to be furious.
I like it just for the fact that it is an experiment, like you said. And you said, I think you were telling me the fact they are experimenting it is because a lot of kids even are basing their self-worth off.
It's a big self-esteem problem, and social media always has. And so, I'm an advocate for that, whatever. I mean, I guess it's coming from me. I don't get a ton of likes, so I don't really care, right? It's not going to affect me. Now, when, again, that's where your validation comes from, that's where, again, your sponsorships come from.
Right.
Yeah, it may actually kind of take a hit on the top dogs. But you know how I feel like it's going to go? The top of the social media ladder is gonna be a little phony and fake for a bit. And they're going to say, this is really good, right? This is good because it's going to help people with their self-esteem issues. That's what everybody's going to promote, right? That's what it's for.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Because in reality, social media wasn't meant to be competitive. It wasn't formed to be competitive. It was formed to be social. And so now that they take away that competitiveness, it is now just social. Right? You're just communicating.
I didn't even think about that. That's
exactly. Cool. So I think for the start, they're going to realize that this is a good thing. This is an appropriate thing to do, and I feel like it's fair. Now, when they slowly begin to figure out that, hey, I'm not as important as I used to be, they're gonna begin to dwell on it a bit. But again, it's a test. I don't think they're keeping it for, I don't know, maybe a month, maybe a week.
That's so cool.
I love it.
There's such a big platform.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're doing this experiment, it's so cool.
And what's funny is Manny and I, we have specific times to post. Why? Because there's more users on at that time. Now, willy-nilly, baby, I'm doing it at midnight when everybody's submitting. It doesn't matter now.
That too.
Right? Yeah. As long as you see it, great. But here's the thing. I don't know now.
Right. No, yeah.
But I'm actually wondering if they're taking out likes. They must be keeping comments, which I actually think is going to be super cool if they do. But I'm assuming they are. Because now, more engagement. Because that's the only way you're going to show somebody you've seen the picture is by commenting. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a great idea.
Dude. I think if people were to keep their sponsorships, is because like people still have to go like and click their affiliate link, right?
Yeah.
And use their code or whatever. I mean, they still like, if people are influenced through that and they use their affiliate link and then the code, I mean, that could still be a thing. I think at that point, it'll be like a numbers game for the sponsors. They're like, okay, you are only bringing this many people in through they're clicking on your link and using the code. I'm like, this is good enough, as long
That's
as
true.
you
Yeah.
keep this consistency
Mhm.
and the content's there
Mhm.
and whatnot. What's interesting to think about is the people that don't have that stuff already.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, I don't think anybody should strive for, like making money by making other companies money. Like that, it's a start, right?
Like then you're being run, right?
right, exactly.
You're not your own entity. You're not your own business.
Exactly.
You're being run.
Like you get that sense, that small like taste of quote
Mhm.
unquote entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
But I am curious for somebody like for me, like example, like for whatever reason, like I strive to want to be with a company like Gymshark or whatever.
Mhm.
And then they're like, well, how do we know that you're engagement? I'm like, well, you're going to have to take a jab at me.
Right,
and,
right. Because guess what? Well, I can't tell you.
I can't tell you.
Now,
'Cause-
I also wonder another thing. They said they're going to stop it publicly. I wonder if you can still see it. If you can still like it, but you see it.
oh,
Yeah. Because that actually might be still worse.
Yeah.
Because just because it doesn't show up publicly doesn't mean now you're
You can't see
self-aware
it,
of
right.
it now. So why would it make a difference? So I'm interested if they're going to keep it to where you can see it because I don't want that. Take it out completely. If you're
Yeah,
gonna
take it out.
Yeah.
Because that still affects you.
Yeah.
I mean, to look at other.
And honestly, the numbers are going to be lower now. Who's going
Right.
to want to go out of their way to like something that they don't even see they liked,
Yeah. Like, what's the purpose? Like,
Right.
I think they should just take out the like function, like
Mhm.
take out the double tap or take out the heart or whatever.
I was reading, and the Twitter CEO actually talked or hit on this idea.
Mhm.
And he said that if he had the chance to revamp the app, he would heavily consider also figuring out a new way about likes and retweets. And so I'm wondering if this goes well, Twitter gets on board and they say, hey, guess what? You can't like anymore, right? Because that heart's very deceiving, And that retweet is very important to a lot of people. But I would actually fight that more because I think when you retweet things on Twitter, it's shown to their followers and then their followers. And it's kind of a ladder effect, right? Or a domino effect. And that's actually really important because you can get clients through that and whatnot.
Yes, but I'm going to play devil's advocate to that.
Yeah, you are.
Is so you just touched on, yes, the heart button is very deceiving.
Yeah.
So someone
Mhm.
can heart something, a super racist or derogatory
Mhm.
comment,
Yeah.
and there are other people like, oh, I'm gonna keep liking that, and that gets more like surface,
Yeah,
and like, why is this getting so many likes? Why are people hearting this?
Mhm.
Right? Like, because there are people that liked what that person said for some odd reason.
Mhm.
And then, like, I understand, like, when people like something that is of value, and then that's how you find clients, and that's how you find other people to connect with. I think there should be. I think Twitter is a different animal. It definitely, and
Yeah, completely.
and
I think Twitter's a worse animal.
this comment might come back to bite me in the butt. But
You're
you know
like,
how we
I miss Twitter.
I think there should be not a dislike button,
Mm.
but something else that like challenges the thought.
You're are you referring more to like on Reddit there's a downvote.
A downvote,
and an
exactly.
upvote.
Yeah,
I
I think that's what it should be: downvote and upvoting. Because if the general consensus of a lot of people, and I feel like that's what it is lately, is people think like Twitter should be a more positive space,
Mhm.
right? But there's always going to be that one asshole, and for every one asshole, there's going to be, I feel like, and I'm being as hopeful as possible, like five positive people.
You're saying to keep it off of timelines, it would be more of a respectable thing for it to be put in the position to where it can't be shown more
Correct.
than it could. Yeah, okay. I mean, okay. You know what? It's interesting because I wonder how Twitter will approach it, because I agree with that. I think if it's put in a proper way and everybody is using it the proper way,
Mhm.
I feel like, yeah, I do like that idea.
Because then if people downvote something
It's not going to be shown to more people.
Completely heinous
Mhm.
or something negative. It's never going to pop up on the feed.
Yeah.
And that's like in a quote unquote perfect world, that's what works.
It'll
right?
never surface. Yeah.
And granted, you will get some of, the edgelords and the meme
Of course.
culture, but I think that people will
Yeah.
see that and be like, "What are you doing, dude?" And downvote the tweet that was upvoted just for the laughs.
And then now I wonder that they implement this downvoting and upvoting, process, and they should also do it to where you don't see it either. There's not a number game there, right? Then that negates the fact you don't know where your tweet is, right? You don't know how it's standing. So I mean, that's a hell of an idea. You should remake Twitter.
So just numbers is what's getting everyone.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, it's not even numbers, but like you said, Twitter is a very negative place, so it's negative things coming on your feed, right? So because if I see a negative thing, it doesn't matter if it has 1,000 retweets versus 42,000. It's still negative,
it's
right?
still negative, yeah.
Right.
So on Twitter, it's a little different. Twitter's just keeping the bullshit and the negative off. Honestly, the numbers on Twitter never actually affect me because I don't know, virality on Twitter is very random.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not creative at all. Sometimes it's recycled,
Mhm.
Yeah.
And somebody's like, "Oh, this meme was funny a year ago. I'll bring it back. It'll still be funny because it's relatable." So the numbers on Twitter don't matter because I think it's very luck based and very who you know kind of based. So that doesn't matter. But if the upvoting and downvoting thing were implemented, I feel like the numbers do matter because, in return, that person you're downvoting now sees that you're downvoting and,
Which I'm curious why Reddit hasn't really made its own like a more social media version of their site
they
because
like their
it's
trolls.
yeah, and that's the problem.
That's what they're known for, right? And they're
Yeah.
known for like the really edgy content
Yeah.
that you can't like filter. Twitter will filter that out. Instagram definitely does.
I feel like Twitter will thrive if they take the things that work about Reddit and implement it into their system, like again the upvoting and downvoting.
Yeah.
The problem with Reddit is you have Reddit as a website, and then there's like 1,000 millions of forums.
Yeah, of
in
course.
Reddit, and
Yeah.
then there's subreddits, and
Yeah.
there's it's a complicated that's a complicated monster.
Yeah.
And because that's just a website, it's a forum site.
Yeah,
But if we're talking social media, yes, if I go and tweet something that's ridiculously negative or heinous, something like everyone's gonna downvote it,
Yeah.
and it never pops on someone else's feed that they don't need to see it.
that's smart. I like that. Hey, you're a smart guy.
Thank you. I like to try sometimes.
Yeah. I agree though. I do agree. Are we all in a general consensus that taking the likes away could be a very good thing?
it could be good. It could. There,
I know. You don't know until you
You
do it.
don't
But
know.
I respect Instagram
I dig it.
a lot for doing something like this because I mean, they have so many users that they don't know how it's gonna work, right? But that's why I like when they release tests. It's like in video games when they release test realms and whatnot, and it's just
I always thought liking pictures was an interesting concept anyway.
well, you want to know right off the bat. What I'm going to say to you is that with Instagram's algorithm, that is how you bring more traction to your account.
Yeah.
as well, and that's what sucks. And I'm wondering how they're going to change their algorithm now because the liking isn't going to be as a popular. Well, the number
I
ain't going to be
think-
a popular commodity. So
I think what you said earlier about the commenting,
yeah.
I think that will probably be a big thing.
I agree because here's the thing. Only people now they really got to get rid of the spam accounts because I swear to God, if I post another photo and somebody's like, "Wow, nice photo," and I can just tell it's fake,
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose it. If they can figure out how to filter out the spam, and then people have to go out of their way and physically type a sentence, which you would be surprised. People fucking don't. People
Yeah.
will sit there and they're like, "Man, this is gonna take me 10 seconds. I can't do that." And I know because I do it now. And I'm like, man, you know what? When you're going through a lot of photos, it takes a lot of time to comment. It does. But I think that's going to filter out those people. It's going to be a better platform. I hope. We'll see.
They do try to take out the spam. I think it was I want to say 3 years ago. They did a whole wiping out. People lost
suck at it
a
because it's
bunch of followers. People,
I remember that.
yeah, just a bunch of followers.
Right.
So they do try. It's just, dude, these spam accounts are ruthless. People. That's how a lot of people make their money. There's a lot of apps where you can pay to get likes and follows.
Websites everywhere about it.
Yeah, there's so many things that you can pay to get likes and followers.
I get DMs, and the DMs always will say, come to our page, DM us, and we can get you this many blah blah blah. And I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, fuck off. No,
Yeah, exactly.
You wanna know what I
here's the thing.
get?
It's all fake. What?
You want to know what request DMs I get?
Oh, the
Hey, cutie.
yeah, dude, I get those. And I always click. I miss them.
Yeah.
I always miss them.
Oh yeah.
No, it's actually weird because you know those text messages you get, and it's just a link,
Yeah.
and they talk about how it's like a lot of molesters and rapists are using that to track your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that shit's fucking frightening. So I click on all of them.
I
I click on all of them because I want to know if it's real.
I haven't came across that problem.
Really, dude, I
Yeah.
get so many, but it's like the spam calling thing is a big thing now.
Well, you have T-Mobile?
Oh, fuck off.
I want to see Instagram become more of a faster paced YouTube.
Yeah, but it can't do long form content.
No, I know. Like,
So you're saying like that's why it'll be more like, oh, you can watch a video very quick and get on.
so like kind of like Vine, right? So Vine was like 7
R.I.P.
seconds. So, yeah,
RIP.
Vine was like 7 seconds of
Yeah.
of kind of something that was just mindless,
Yeah,
right?
and it failed.
And it failed. But
No,
but
well, did it?
Well, I mean, it's gone.
yeah.
It's
Pe-
gone, but
people don't like people miss it now because they didn't
Oh,
know what
right.
they had.
I see.
Mhm.
And
I thought Vine was great because, like you said, mindless content.
yeah, and I feel like Instagram can be something that's like valuable content because Instagram has built that rapport of a platform that can be something of value, right? So let's use Alienated for example.
Alienated.
You have your long form content, right, on your
Mhm.
on your YouTube page.
Yeah, it's the Alpha Beta podcast, Alpha
Yes.
Beta Kappa podcast.
the Kappa podcast. And then we have those ideas of like, let's do like a minute sketch,
Yeah, okay.
right?
Okay.
Why would you put a minute
Yeah.
on YouTube?
Yeah.
That makes no sense. And like, so let's do something fast and crazy and something that's just makes people laugh
Yeah.
and
yeah.
you can take away from
So
it.
it's like a Vine on steroids a bit.
Yeah.
It's that happy medium
Yeah, yeah.
between Vine and YouTube.
Yes.
I like that. Well, I feel like Instagram is kind of already like that. I think their max on videos is like 2 minutes. You can only put up a 2-minute video or something.
Yeah, but at first it used to be like how Vine was.
Right. It was very quick. Yeah.
But very quick.
Yeah.
I think you got like 7, maybe.
But
10
I think
seconds.
what I'm saying is they're getting there because
Yeah.
now I can watch a video, and also they're doing the IGTVs, which are
Right.
you watch a video,
Yeah. that's
and
another thing.
it asks you after 2 minutes, you want or 50 seconds, I don't know, do you want to keep watching? So now you make that decision if you want to keep watching. I feel like it's great because I find myself actually watching it a lot, and then I realize, oh, I actually watched a YouTube length video on Instagram.
Yeah.
So I think it is becoming. I mean, I love Instagram. I do. I just hate its algorithm. I think its algorithm is terrible. I don't think you should have to post more to be noted or to have your pictures funnel onto feeds
Right.
because, I mean, you know, I don't know. I this is very biased, but I do special effect photography, so it takes me a very long time to finish a photo. So if I don't put out photos every goddamn day, then they don't funnel.
You
through
get
the feed.
lost.
Right? And so I feel like that's really unfair because and of course people could just say, oh, you gotta work faster and harder. Fuck you. No, I don't. I could just put out good quality content, and it should just go by. I think it should go by times like it used to. You know, somebody posted an hour ago. Okay, it'll show up an hour ago. Don't come
Yeah.
on, man. I don't know.
So let me ask you this question. now
I
that-
I hate the platform.
What do you guys think about doing that?
Doing what?
So you have your like longer content on YouTube,
Oh,
and then we find time to kind of just do like we said Instagram's 2 minutes right now.
yeah, I think it's 2
Yeah,
minutes.
2 minute
about, yeah.
videos. Do a 2 minute video. I mean, hell, Knock was like what? That's like 3 minutes,
Yeah.
right?
roughly. Yeah.
Do you want to know why I hate that?
Why?
Is because Instagram takes your quality and it takes a fat shit on it, and so I don't want to put it on Instagram because it's gonna look bad and sound bad. It's noticeably bad.
Is it?
Noticeably bad.
It's kind of like how Twitter. I don't know if you've ever opened up a Twitter video.
How it
and
starts
the-
out compressed
Yeah,
as
the
fuck.
compressed
first
as
5
fuck, yeah.
seconds is like
Yeah.
that.
I don't want to do that,
Yeah.
and that's why if I put time into something, it's better to put it on a platform that still
Is dedicated
compresses,
to it,
but
yeah.
it's mainly for video making.
What we could do is like whatever we do, put on Alienated. Maybe even make a shorter, like maybe even teaser.
yeah.
Putting it on Instagram and then just sending them to YouTube.
Yeah.
That could work.
But even then, again, it's so hard to get people
I'm
to
not-
say, "Oh yeah, for sure, let me go and do this." You know,
Right. No, yeah.
So how would you? So what with this new, like this non-like system, and I feel like this is a way for Instagram to kind of rebrand themselves and who they want to be, and who that is. I don't know. I would like to think that it's somebody like is a platform that is not so focused on the value of a person based on numbers, but
Yeah.
more the content that they put out.
I agree.
And that's just me being hopeful.
Mhm.
But I feel like that with this route, that makes the most sense.
Mhm.
And I know YouTube is where Alienated is, that's home and that's where you thrive. What would you guys do? What would you want to do on Instagram to have an extra bit of like put your fingers somewhere like to reach out? Because people find you through different platforms. Not everyone's gonna find you through YouTube.
No. And again, we've done that before where it's hey, we did this, go click the link in our bio, something like that. And we have before released teasers and have done the same thing. Go click the link in our bio. I honestly am completely fine with pushing the idea of releasing smaller videos on Instagram. Because of the quality. But that's what I'd love to do. That would be, and also it could be content that's maybe not so, hey, we're really looking at the quality, but it's like, oh, we're gonna do something fun, something cool, and something interesting that is just easy to flesh out.
Yeah.
And then if you want to see our content that we put a lot of time into and we put our most dedication to, go to our YouTube page and watch that. And it's kind of like, a weird pyramid scheme, you tell them to go here and then you tell them to go here. But that's how you have to do it. Right. That's how you promote things.
Yeah.
So I'd love to do that. But again, Instagram isn't made for videos and it compresses the shit out of pictures too. So I wish they would figure that out because that'd be great. But
so yeah, that's definitely a them problem.
It is.
So do you,
no, I'm deleting it.
do you think at some point they would realize like, well, so if we're going to go down this path, we need to fix, the things at our end that would make who we want to be more fruitful. Do you think they would want or would even bother to put in the attempt to do that?
I think overall, because it is their business, whatever makes them the most money. So I think whatever stays the longest is working best for them, and they do have to change, but it's always about money,
right?
For the most part.
But see, I almost argue that because taking away this like thing is only, I feel like, going to affect it negatively.
It might be, but it's
business.
also like I said, it's an experiment.
Right, but why would they get together, at their corporate offices and say, hey, this is a good idea, we're going to lose money?
Well, I don't even know because, dude, let's say sponsors could even go. So there's a lot of good quality content on there that people aren't seeing because of that.
Yeah.
So these sponsors could be like going to, this content's good. I don't know how many likes their photo's getting, but let's throw money at them like this because their content is good. And we've never seen it. So maybe even a bunch of businesses would come at like these smaller people just because their photos are really good, but they don't have that many likes or followers like that.
See, that's actually the biggest thing. And I think that is going to be the next step is after the likes, dude, the next step is the follower count. See, if I go to somebody and I look at their account and I'm like, oh, dude, I want to be a sponsor for them. Right. And I look at their account and they got 700 fucking followers, I'm going to say they're not going to bring me money. This 1.7 million guy's going to bring me money because I know for a fact he's getting more. So it's very, I don't know, dude. It's just interesting because I feel like I don't know if it's going to change anything. I actually think it's going to make it worse on their end business wise.
It could be worse. It could be best. That's what
no, dude, I'm
for.
always right.
No, you are. You're right. I'm sorry.
80%.
Unless they met with somebody or like met with some benefactors that'd be like, hey, we want to invest in Instagram,
right? But we want shit out.
We want the likes removed. Yeah. Like, I'm just gonna like give an example. That's probably not the case, but like some health and wellness firm or whatever, some psychology firm was like, hey, we like what Instagram is doing right now, but we hate the like system because that is not good for people and their well-being as people. Because when you put likes on them, they're no longer people. They're just numbers. And, that's not how people operate or should operate. So we want to fund Instagram $1 million a year or, whatever. I'm giving an arbitrary number.
Yeah.
But you need to remove the like system.
Yeah.
And then Instagram will be, okay, well, we can't, remove it entirely. Let's, sign a contract that's based on, the contingency of what is the feedback and things like that. And they're like, okay, because there's always something in the background that's happening,
Yeah.
giving the reason
Yeah.
why they're doing these things.
Yeah, I mean, there could have been. I don't know. I wish I could read more into it, but I'm podcasting at the moment.
No, I would hope they are doing for like the good. Like
I
we
know.
want to.
I hope there's not a secret thing behind.
Yeah, I
this-
hope it is
this
for the
scheme,
good.
you
I
know?
really do. Like they just want to make
Mhm.
the fact that people are basing their
They want to make it
self-worth
healthy.
off
They
of
want to
it.
make it healthy.
Yeah.
That's what
I
they
hope
know.
that's the reason.
Yeah.
But it is a business at the end of the day, and
mean, it's a
most of
corporation.
it. It's all about money,
Oh.
which sucks. But
It is what it is. I mean,
that's what Alien is all about. We're all just all about money.
Yeah, honestly. And you can pick up our merch at alienatedfilms.co. We're about to release our spring line soon.
hey, Springline, baby.
No, for real though. I'm not even kidding. This is on Alienated Films channel. We
Yeah,
can do
right,
that stuff.
right,
No,
right.
I really like. I don't go out and promote like our merch. I like it. It's cool. And if I
Right.
like it, I really don't care if somebody else buys it or likes it.
I've always just wanted to wear my own stuff, and now
Also,
I am. So
if you do the profit margin I make from it, you'll realize we're probably spending more money doing it
I
than
don't think
getting
we've
profit.
made any money.
I'm not in it for the profit because we ain't getting it.
No, yeah,
so,
I don't. I just feel it feels cool when people wear stuff.
oh, dude, I think
Even
it's so
if-
flattering.
Yeah, I don't,
Yeah.
like you said, I don't think we were making any money.
Yeah,
We've
Jake
probably
Jake
even
doesn't
lost a
even have a piece of our clothing. That's crazy.
I'm waiting for the baseball tee.
Oh, really? Yeah, he must have been waiting when baseball teams weren't even talked about. Austin does though. Our producer is reps it, so that's great.
Oh,
Thanks,
yeah.
Austin.
I love our producer, man.
Yeah,
he fell asleep halfway through the
Yeah,
podcast.
he fell asleep after the podcast. I hope it's not because he's bored. I really just hope it's because he's tired. He looked exhausted, but I don't know. Hey, by the way, speaking of our producer, that thumbnail, our thumbnail, not that thumbnail. Remember that thumbnail?
That's
Yeah.
Is people love it.
Yeah,
People
still,
absolutely
people love
love it.
it.
They're
Yeah,
eating
dude.
it up and they love it. And every time somebody tells me they love it, I'm just like, good, because we knew people would love it.
Love it,
That's the
yeah.
idea of it. And it stirred up a lot of conversation. And the comment we get the most, this is for you, Austin, is, oh my God, is that Austin?
Is
that Austin
jumping off the roof in the background?
And I'm like, I don't know. Does it look like him?
We did get one. I don't know if we want to branch out to the that we got that it is when people see it,
Oh, it's deceiving.
it's
We did.
deceiving. Yes.
We talked with a buddy of ours recently, and that's actually something else I wanted to hit on. Is we talked about. Well, I asked him the question that I really like to ask people,
Mhm.
and he's an honest guy, so he gave me an honest answer, and I'm an advocate for being honest. So I told him, I said, you can tell me, and I ain't gonna be hurt, because he actually said we didn't talk about the podcast. He brought it up,
Mhm.
and he said, hey, I love your podcast, and he said, I didn't even know you guys had a podcast, because when he saw our thumbnail, he didn't think it was us.
Yeah.
Really?
He didn't think it was us. He goes, no way, this is them. And he scrolled by it, and then he saw Manny promote it again, and he said, what the fuck? And he listened to it, and he said he loved it. And I said, okay, be honest. How much did you listen to? And he said, honestly, 15 minutes or 20 minutes. And I was like, okay, great. Don't lie to me.
Yeah, don't lie.
And say, oh, I loved your podcast. And then when I ask you how much, you say, all hour and 30. And I said, really? Because it's an hour.
It's an hour.
And they said, oh, I must have re-listened to some parts then, because it sure took me an hour and a half. But I don't want people to lie, because I'm also honest. If somebody's gonna ask me something about anything, I'm gonna say it. So I
Right.
appreciate. He knows who he is. We appreciate you for being honest about it. But he also did say the thumbnail was dope, but also very deceiving, because he said
Yeah.
when he saw it, he A, didn't think it was us, but B, he was kind of like, whoa, hold on a sec, what is this? But you know what? I like that, because
Yeah,
the
'cause
people that don't know us
Yeah.
probably scroll by it and they're like, whoa, what is this? And you know
Right.
that, that's an attention grabber.
And it makes sense how we described it. Like, obviously, it looks like a college podcast.
Yeah.
It was like there's a bunch of red solo cups. It looks like a frat.
Yeah.
Alpha,
Right.
beta, kappa.
He said our demographic is perfect. We're gonna get the right demographic with that kind of thumbnail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those things, like people click on it, they're like, oh, these guys look, I'm pretty sure I said this. Did I say this last podcast? I don't know. Who gives a fuck?
I don't know. That's 2 weeks ago,
Um,
dude.
They click on the thumbnail. These guys look like a lot of fun, like to hang out with. Like I hang out with these guys. And you
Mhm.
click and they listen. They're like, oh, these guys are a lot of
Are
fun,
so
and they're
boring.
they're talking about things that I like. People like I feel like everyone thinks about the things that we talk about.
Yeah.
but they don't really have anyone to talk about it with.
Right.
Or they don't want to go out of their way to start a conversation with somebody about it.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, there's other people out there like me who think about like business stuff and entrepreneurship and like who want to escape the the general mold of what
Yeah.
like what society wants to shape you as, and I'm getting real,
Mm,
big about it.
Yep, about to kick you out of the podcast.
No, but I feel like there are people out there, and those are the people that we that want to grab. Like,
well, we want them as pledges.
yeah, exactly. I'll spank you.
I will
will
spank
spank
you.
ya.
That's our initiation.
Yeah.
I agree though, and I don't know. I'm having a good time, and that's really all I guess that matters. But I
Right.
also like being well versed on our podcast because I want it to be very unpredictable,
Mhm.
and I want people to listen, and I don't want them to know what we're going to talk about because I think it's fun. I find that fun when
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen, and I listen and I think, that's surprising. I would have never thought them as a group would be talking about this. But now when they listen, they're more intrigued because it's us, somebody they know
Right.
that honestly they probably really know as not these serious guys, these very silly fucking dorks,
Silly,
these
cute.
nerdy dork guys. But now we're nerdy dork guys that have a podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
And nerdy dork guys with a podcast are powerful.
Yeah, you better watch out. I'm gonna talk junk on you. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so we are getting to the end. We I don't know if any of you guys thought of a goal for the next podcast.
No.
None of you.
But you know what I got to call you out on?
Call me.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you out on this.
What's it?
Can I call
But
you?
this is a mold, and we do this live, and I want all of us to learn together.
Mold me.
When you say, "All right, guys, we're getting to the end," you don't got to tell them.
Are we at the end?
I don't know. I don't know if we were at the end. We could have been going on for 2 hours.
Stupid.
So I think instead of saying we're at the end of our podcast, it should be more along the lines of we're at the portion of our podcast where we now set goals that we want to achieve by the next podcast. So again, we do these bi-weekly. So we have, roughly about 2 weeks. We'll obviously are going to meet up before we release it. So a little less time, but I haven't thought of a goal, and that's my problem here.
Well, Jake, do you have one? I don't know if yours are going to be fitness related every single time.
No, because that would be incredibly boring.
But it is your goal. I mean,
Yeah,
whatever works for you.
but I want
He's
people.
like, yeah, but fitness is boring.
You're right. It is.
No, I would like people to be like excited
Mhm.
in some different aspect for me.
Okay,
Right.
yeah. So it's not like, it's getting to Jake.
But
But talking
you're
about his
gonna-
PLR.
Yeah.
I'm interested too. I mean, I don't know if everyone would be.
No, like
Again, it's a personal preference.
Right.
So go crazy, really.
yeah. I think for this like upcoming like weeks ahead, I would like to become more consistent with like the smaller things in my life. Because these past like 2 weeks have been rather chaotic in terms of what my day is like. And you're like I'll paint a quick picture. Is I wake up and I go to work. I work and go like from 9 to 3, and from then on I go to the gym, and then it's like, well, you seem pretty set. No, it's the small crap. Like I need to do laundry and kind of go home and help out with the dishes and things like that. And like meal prep and cook and for myself instead of buying food,
Mhm.
because buying food can get expensive. It's stuff like that. So if I can start setting up routine, and routine is important. So that's what I'll say. Setting up morning and evening routines.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
That will kickstart my day and help me wind down. Because I have a horrible problem about I still have enough time to fit in an hour of video games.
Oh yeah.
And and I tell myself I need this hour of video games for my sanity. Instead, I kind of want it to be I need this hour of meditation
Yeah. Mhm.
to
Mhm.
wind down, to wake up and tackle the day
Yeah.
ahead. So yeah, routines. There you go.
Are you looking at me? Is that where you're pointing your foot?
Oh yeah. No, I'm thinking.
Oh,
still.
you think? Okay. Well, I actually do have one, and I don't know why I forgot about it because there's recent events that led to this. But I went to the doctor's office recently,
Mhm.
and he took my heart rate, and he said my beats per minute, or my heart rate was like 110 or 120.
Mm.
It
What
was-
is
Wow.
the regular amount?
Oh, it's way lower.
Like
Yeah.
90.
Oh, it's way lower. No, it's way lower.
Yeah.
It's
It's supposed to be like 70s.
Yep. mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said
an
I could be sitting down, but it would be like I'm running a mile. And I said, oh man, that's what I feel like. Yeah.
What the?
I said, that's what I feel like. So he said, you got to drink a lot more water or you're gonna die.
Hey, who's been telling you that though?
My mom,
And me.
Sid,
My mom?
you, everybody I think I
Everybody.
know, probably Austin. I mean, actually, Austin
Everyone.
always tells me that as he brings in fucking bullshit.
His twisted tea.
Yeah, your twisted tea, your neuro.
That's not water.
Damn, dude. So you gotta drink.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna set a goal. So 2 weeks, but I'll just I'll set a realistic goal for me because this is I'm not a water drinker, and you guys know that. So I want to at least finish within the span. I'm gonna say, let's just do 8 gallons of water
For the
within that time.
Within 2 weeks?
Yeah, people do a gallon a day, so I feel. But no, that's like I want to finish that, not
minimum.
just that.
Oh, okay.
I want a minimum at least 8 gallons of water.
I didn't hear the minimum part. I'm like,
No, I didn't say the minimum, but it was like I was implying. Minimum.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
Um,
I'm like
but-
8 gallons deep, like 5 days.
Well, yeah,
5
but
days.
you know what's so funny about that? I don't drink water. So when I say 8 gallons, that's a milestone
I
for
don't think
me.
you've done 8 gallons
In my
since-
life.
In your life.
I haven't done 8 gallons in my life. I don't have any water in this body.
No, dude. I whenever I do see you drink water, it is rare.
Oh, dude, people like ask me if I'm okay when I
Yeah.
drink water. So.
Okay, so but then I'll piggyback on yours because
He's
wanna,
like 10 gallons, and I'm like 15.
well,
20, 28,
Okay,
20 gallons.
I want to drink more water too.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, I've been trying to because water is very beneficial too.
You've
Like,
done the
as-
gallon
oh,
thing
really?
a day.
I have.
I didn't
yeah.
know water was that beneficial.
Well,
Right,
see,
no, yeah.
look at
And
me. I don't
Study
drink a lot.
shows. Study shows on Instagram.
Which-
if you
wait,
get
which
more
study?
likes, you're naturally thirsty.
Yeah, you need more water.
Mm.
No, okay. See, obviously water, and it's so simple. But dude, water.
Oh, it's not simple, man. Let
no.
me tell you.
No, but dude, you even know you need more water. You just don't.
What?
Oh,
Hold on, I'm fucking lost.
okay. So water is very beneficial in most ways, dude. Acne, I get a lot of acne too,
Yeah.
and I know water helps with that.
Yeah.
I just
Right.
don't.
Yeah.
I don't drink that much water. I'll drink maybe a water bottle a day.
Wow.
Water bottle a day,
Oh,
dog.
shit.
Dog,
Okay,
I
but-
can
but
beat
tell-
you on that. Yeah, sometimes I
Yeah,
don't drink water.
that's what I'm saying.
For,
Tell Brandon.
for at the least, I can do 4 days no water, and I
Yeah.
don't even get parched.
There's some days I will drink
Oh my
like
God.
a shit ton of water. There's some days
Yeah.
I might not get a water.
You know what's
There's
funny?
sometimes I might just get one.
Again, it's like you're shocked, but I've literally lived like this. This
I
is
didn't
how
know it was
yeah,
that bad.
dude.
No,
this,
yeah,
I've
dude.
lived like this.
This
Yeah.
yeah. There's like whenever I would go to his house, they'd have a water bottle jug in their fridge.
Yeah.
And it'd still be full.
Well, we refill it all the time. That's different.
Whoa.
Yeah, we refill it, man.
Camera
They give
tricks.
that water to the dog.
No, okay, so I'll piggyback you on that.
Yeah, okay.
So for my goal, I want to start drinking more water.
Okay.
I don't even know if I want. Maybe I'll do a gallon a day.
Okay.
I don't. And
Well, you
maybe
don't have to
we
be an
can.
asshole and beat me.
I mean, you can even do it if you want to.
Yeah, I can.
And
that's true, that's
we'll
true.
kind of keep tabs on each other every
Mhm.
day. I'll text you. I got my water gallon.
And I'm like, oh yeah, I got my water bottle.
You know, I think I'll help you guys keep accountable. What I'll do is I'll buy a big paddleboard, right? And every day that you don't drink water, I'll drill a hole in the paddleboard. And so by the end of the 2 weeks, how many holes left is how much wind wind resistance that is not there for me to smack your ass with the paddleboard.
Yeah, that's actually kind of weird because I like that. Thanks for tuning in.
yeah.
Well, and that's another thing is again we want some good consequences for failing because I don't want to fail. I
Right.
do want to drink more water. Do I hate doing it? Absolutely, I do. But do I want to? I want to live. So, well, I'm gonna die at 30 anyway, but it don't matter. But anyway, yes, let us know the consequences because we could say senses. Did you see how I said that?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
fucked
can't
up.
say banging.
That was fucked up. Whatever, dude. Fuck it. I'm not
Okay,
doing it.
so-
Nah, just kidding.
Jake, you want to better your routine? You want to do around 8?
I want to do minimum 8.
Okay, and I'll do that. I'll do that too.
Okay.
So we can start.
Or we
somewhere.
get, again, I see. I don't really want to say daily yet because I think I want to try that
Yeah.
one for another
Yes,
one.
yes.
So
So I'll do 8 as well. I'll pick it back on yours.
baby steps,
Oh,
I think.
You guys are cute.
Yeah, and I'm not bullshitting about it.
Yeah,
I'm not
we'll
bullshitting.
We'll drink
I'm
out of the same gallon, same straws.
I don't know. I kind of think I had mono recently, so
Perfect.
we're getting real off topic, ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen.
yeah.
I mean, that's it, guys. That's it. Set a goal for yourself. That's kind of why we like to do it. We also want to influence you guys to set a goal. So set a goal. Let us know what it is. And please do it because it actually kind of feels good when you complete it. I know these fucking gentlemen didn't do it, but that's okay. They'll learn.
I mean, I'll probably get like
You're like, I'll probably do 10
3/4
gallons of water tomorrow.
3/4 of my goal.
I'm
initially.
kidding.
Yeah,
I like
and
to just fuck with you guys, but
No, I know.
you know,
But yeah, like, subscribe, favorite, upvote, don't like it. If it's on
any social
Share
media
it.
platform you look at, do the only good
Show
thing
us
that
the numbers.
Screenshots.
Again,
5 stars.
we are on. If you don't give us the 5 stars, it's over.
It's
We're done. But
Yeah, Yelp us.
check us out on the Spotify app, and we will let you know on our Twitter again at ABK Pod when we get it up on the podcast app. But
Yep.
right now, you can listen on YouTube and Spotify, and soon on Apple. So
Yes.
I think that's it for this podcast, guys. Thank you for listening to
Thank you.
our second episode.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.